Last thing I'm getting out of here. Do you guys realize Joe Burrow's coming to the NFC most likely, right? There's so many reasons why this was the year for the Niners to go for it. The league is wide open. George Kittle's healthy now, although he was. I don't know if he still is. Trent Williams, I mean, they had their old guys healthy for a minute. Next year, they'll all be a year older, and Joe Burrow is coming to the NFC. I don't think you guys understand how intent the Vikings are to get him. They are going to move heaven and earth to get Joe Burrow, the Minnesota Vikings. And if they get Joe Burrow, they're the team to beat in the NFC instantly. That's potentially a true juggernaut. Now, the New York Jets are probably going to jump in that sweepstakes and try to make, up the price. I doubt Joe Burrow wants to go to the Jets, but I'm sure they'll be involved. I don't think he's going to the Jets. I think he's going to the Vikings. And then you got a problem. So my question is, if the Niners lose to the Eagles and Purdy isn't that great, or he's not good, would you want the Niners to get in on this? Would you be cool being like, nah, it's all right. Purdy didn't play that good. We lost the first round, but we believe in him. And we got Mac Jones. Let's just stand by and watch as the Vikings get an elite quarterback, future Hall of Famer. Or do you call the Vikings and say, hey, not the Vikings, the Bengals, and say, hey, so we just lost. And that really was sobering. We thought we had something, but then our quarterback, it's not that we don't like him because he's great. It's not his fault that we lost. We just like Joe Burrow. So if you can't have Joe, the next best thing is Brock. Because Joe's the fourth best quarterback in the league and Brock's the fifth best quarterback, according to EPA per play times 3 squared. So why don't we trade you Purdy for Burrow? Purdy and a first for Burrow. Does that get it done? Then you could trade Mac Jones to get a pick back. Trade Mac Jones to the Jets. I would. I like Brock Purdy. I like Mac Jones. They're not as good as Joe Burrow. I wouldn't want him to go to the Vikings. As soon as he goes to the Vikings, that's the team to beat. I wouldn't want that. Joe Burrow, I would make that trade. Especially if Purdy can't get it done. You figure if Joe Burrow had Kyle Shanahan, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Jawan Jennings, he'd make it work. Although maybe Joe Burrow would get hurt too. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't talk about that. Just keep it in mind, all right? The Vikings are working on this as we speak. Scary. Kind of reminds me when the Rams got Matthew Stafford. Kilo TW says, why does it feel like the defense was better when Siegel was playing? I don't know. I feel like he was taking lumps and then they got him out of there. And now you got Jair Brown taking lumps and he's not improving. I thought that Siegel was a better run defender than Brown. Philip Coop says, did you see the video Lenore posted him covering JSN thoughts? Let it go, dude. You lost the game. Let it go. Let it go. I think that's what I would say. The Niners lost. It's not about you. It's team sport. You all lost together. Jonathan Briggs says this game will be low scoring. I'm guessing 15-9. Hopefully I'm wrong, but if that's what it takes for us to win because we have a better kicker, then I'm on board. 7 Dennis says prediction, Eddie De Niro, 15 points. I could totally see that. Todd Labor says 24-21 Niners. Eddie Pinero wins the game with a field goal late in the game by Kyle needs to win this game badly. He does need to win this game badly. EJ Reed says Pettis versus Ricky. Who had the better first 2 seasons? That's messed up. Okay, I've actually been monitoring this, and I was gonna go with Ricky, but now that Ricky's kind of getting shut down, it might be Pettis. What's crazy about Pettis is Pettis somehow had 7 touchdown catches in his first 2 seasons. In 2 seasons with the Niners, he started 11 games, he didn't really play much the third year. Played a little bit. He had 1 target the third year. So in 2 seasons with the Niners, he had 38 catches for 576 yards and 7 touchdowns. In 2 years with the Niners, Pearsall had 67 catches for 928 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I can see why you would make the comparison. I think Ricky's better than Dante, but they're a similar skill set. I think in terms of size, speed, agility, route running. I think they're very similar. And with Dante, I felt like he became a mistake waiting to happen, like a drop waiting to happen. And I felt like the physicality, the violence of the game kind of caught up to him and he couldn't withstand it. Not only did he keep getting hurt, but I felt like he was like wincing or expecting I mean, it all culminated with that awful kick return where he kind of like tiptoed into the crowd and got blasted and injured. Ricky hasn't done that yet, but as the injuries keep piling up, I wonder. They are about the same height, weight, speed. And there is a scenario where Pearsall's career takes the Dante Pettis trajectory. Or there's a scenario where it doesn't. As long as I'm rocking this beard, I'm open-minded on Ricky Pearsall, man. Boxing Fan Times 4 says when the Niners choose to fire Kyle, should they go back to getting the next head coach from college like Walsh Harbaugh? I don't know. You know, Walsh and Harbaugh had a lot of NFL experience. I wouldn't just get a college coach. I'd want a guy who has NFL experience, maybe some college experience. Walsh wasn't at Stanford for that long. He was a long-time NFL coach with the Bengals. The real Harvey Dent says Joe is overrated, top 10 O-line and top 3 wide receivers. No. Brock Purdy's overrated.